أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. See the difference? Iran, Israel, and the value of life. This is a recording of the blog post of 5th October 2024 by Arzu Merali. The blog is being read by the author. It needs to be acknowledged now that the two Operations True Promise from the Islamic Republic of Iran, launched in response to attacks on Gaza, the West Bank, groups supported by Iran and their own diplomatic personnel, and the assassinations of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran and Said Hassan Nasrallah in Beirut, has not targeted civilians or civilian sites. It is in total contrast to the Israeli regime's escalated genocide of 1 year's standing. The contrast of approach is heightened further by the claims of the Israeli regime repeatedly that the operations were failures because no civilian life was lost. Supporters of the Zionist entity in various mainstream Western media up until last week spoke in similar terms about Hezbollah, stating that Lebanese resistance group was not in an all-out war against the entity because they had not killed any civilians. The measure of success in war is now clearly demarcated in the West by how many civilians are slaughtered directly through targeted attacks. This grotesquerie has been passing for normal for too long now. In this narrative, quote-unquote Israel is not perpetrating a genocide against a civilian population of a country without a standing army, and whose security forces and apparatus, such as they are, have been in long-term collusion with the Israeli genocidaires. Instead, it is seen as waging a war successfully, the demonization of their opponents, ensuring that their deaths do not spark empathy or outrage in observers. So far, so understood, you would think. Yet the clamour and desire for blood has also been a feature of the Muslim commentariat, if such a name could be ascribed to the various social media pundits whose voices are as loud as their analyses are poor. It is not a Muslim-specific phenomenon, of course, but for this piece, it is they I avert to. In a scramble to outdo themselves in criticism of Iran in thinly veiled sectarian invectives that bear little relation to anything that has actually happened in the last 45 years, they too have rehashed this argument. Quote, Iran has done nothing. End quote. Quote again, their operations are just theatrics, end quote. You know why? No one was killed. There needs to be serious reflection now on how it is that Muslim polities measure military success in Zionized terms. Muslims, especially those who would incite violence against other Muslims, need to be called out now for their collaboration with Israeli and US narratives. The genocide in Gaza today can in many ways be traced to the failures of narrative that would rather collaborate with the US to disrupt support to the Palestinian resistance in the name of their own group rights. No one can achieve freedom at the price of another's. Undermining the current resistance against the Israeli entity in order to cement previous positions that justified the undermining of the resistance is shameful. Learn that lesson now. Arzu Merali is a writer and researcher based in London, UK. This piece is an addition to a tweet thread yesterday on the undermining of the Palestinian resistance.